Mr. Chairman, Mark Ruth isn't in attendance. Would you like our alternate to be a
Yes.
city member?
You're fine.
No, sorry.
Yeah, you ready to go?
Can't find my other one.
Okay, go ahead.
They're not permanent, it's not the airline. They're
Now, if he comes in late, what procedure do we use?
Right, honestly, looking at the chairman's discretion.
You can do that.
Anytime you're ready.
You can do that, it can be worse for you.
All right, well, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we are ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'll wait for Daryl.
Oh, there's Mark.
Mark?
Oh, you're welcome, I sit back.
No, Mark, flip it. He's the alternate, you're the main guy. All right, ready to go, Daryl?
I'm ready to go.
Oh, hi. I don't do it right on time.
Good practice.
Make this official.
Nice dry run.
Shoo!
You're almost traded to the Indians.
Okay. Okay. Evening. Welcome to the Painesville Township Zoning Commission meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Okay, John Hott,
Here.
Mark,
Pleased to be here.
John Everett,
Here.
Daryl,
Here?
and Chairman.
Here. Okay, is there anybody, any of the audience members here for anything other than what's on the agenda? Okay, did we get any inquiries from the public, Rachel or Harley?
I've received none, Mr. Chairman.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so having heard that, call the regular meeting to order, and we have the minutes of the April 11th, 2022 meeting minutes that was sent out to us. Does anybody have any corrections to the minutes that was sent, emailed out from Rachel? Hearing no objections, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the minutes of the April 11th meeting.
So approved. So moved.
We got a motion by Daryl to approve,
Second.
second by John,
Or Mark.
or Mark, oh, sorry, Mark, sorry. My hearing's not great, I just got yelled at today. Anyway, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay, John Hott,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John Everett,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Okay, public hearings, we have none tonight. We have architectural reviews. Zoning, item 220013, site plan review for a 7,000 square foot addition. Is the applicant here? Yes. Okay. Go ahead. I gotta find it now.
I can't find mine. It's showing up there.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Just give them your name and.
Hi, I'm Josh. We're applying for
Excuse me for a minute. Put your name and your address, please, for the
Oh.
record.
Joshua Holstein. You want my home address or the business?
Address, this will be fine.
So this will be 1490 North Ridge Road, Painesville Township.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
And we're looking to do a 7,000 square foot addition onto the existing building there
All right.
for business expansion.
Oh, here, I see it right here. This right there. Okay, and so what's there right now?
So it's a towing company. We purchased the towing company. We're an auto repair shop and towing company, and we're looking to expand growth there at that site.
Okay,
We have a repair shop down the road where we rent, so we own this property now, and we want to move all our operations to one property.
okay. And, okay, I assume this is the architect? engineer?
Rich Cantansbury with Land Design, engineer, surveyor. We did both. So we've been working with Harley in the zoning office. We also received comments from the Lake County Stormwater recently. I addressed those today with Steve Hauser. So we're progressing through the comments as they come in, so.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Josh, I'm sorry. I just came from the softball game, so I apologize.
That's all good.
So in this edition, where's it exactly going to be?
So if you're looking at this picture, our
where
building there, yep,
Mhm.
so right where your cursor is at, that was where the addition will be at, right there.
Okay, so you'll be taking some parking away then?
Yep, we're gonna be, that'll all be shop space there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the parking will be just what you see in your plans there. We'll have paved parking. The rest of that is all hard packed gravel.
Mm-hmm.
That'll still be reserved for some of the impound stuff that we do for the police departments that we serve.
Uh-huh.
But for all our customer parking, that'll be mostly reserved to the pavement. And if you're
Okay.
looking at the building to the right of the existing building is where the
Mhm.
addition will be.
Okay,
at
so
right
it'll
now.
be seen from the roadway.
Yes, yep.
Okay, your color scheme.
We're gonna match this color blue the best we can. And then they have, we're gonna put, I'm at a blank right now. There'll be brushes and shrubs and,
Landscaping.
yeah, landscaping in front of it so it's not just a steel building standing out there.
Okay.
The fence that's here, will be no more. Well, I mean, so the property will still be fenced in, but this fence that's up against Route 20, that'll no longer be there. That will be butted to the building.
Okay, thank you. Does any of the commission members have any questions for the applicant before the staff, or you want to wait for the staff report?
You said that that fence would no longer be there, the one that's out closer to the road, right?
Correct. We're gonna bring it flush with the new building.
Oh, I see, okay.
And the new building, I believe, we're 20 feet in front of the old building, so it'll be flush with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for the applicant before we go to staff report?
I've got a question here.
Go ahead,
Looking at, I'm looking at a dimension here, and I thought the setback was 50 feet.
It is 50 and,
24, huh?
Yeah, that was included in my staff report for the project. They weren't meeting the minimum setback requirement, and there was an issue with the 5 proposed parking spaces in front of the new building. And both of those revisions were made
Okay.
per staff recommendation.
Okay, I'm just saying what I see here, and this is all I got, so I have to ask the question.
right, do you have the new drawing for the screen?
I actually need to pull it up in my
Okay,
email on this computer.
that's all right.
Okay.
That came directly from you, right, Rich?
From me, yes. When did, last Thursday maybe-ish?
Yeah, see, that's the one I have, and over here it says it's 24 feet.
50,
Yeah.
50 feet
50
Okay.
feet
To the
each
right of
side,
way.
yeah.
to the front of the new building, yep. It was revised since,
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission for the applicant before we hear from staff? Hearing none, Harley, could you staff report, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So after reviewing this application, in my staff report, it shows that the original submittal met all of our requirements with the exception of 2 things. The 50-foot setback requirement, as you see in the original drawings, And per section 29.10A, we do not permit parking anywhere between the front setback of the building and the right-of-way. So they've removed those parking spaces. But that didn't change the parking space requirement. 14 were required, 19 were being proposed with removal of the 5. 14 is still being provided, and that's our minimum requirement. And those would be my only comments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. And Northridge is part of our Western Reserve regulations, correct?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No?
This is a part of the heavy industrial portion of
Yeah.
Thank you.
Northridge, and they're not.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, this is out on the east side of town.
Gotcha.
We never put any of that up, as I remember.
That is correct. Okay. Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, do you have handicap parking?
Yeah, let's see
I
right
can't
there.
tell.
They have
Yes,
one
we do.
spot. They have one spot, 2 spots.
Okay.
We have one, right there
Well, okay, you have one.
right there in front.
What's required by
Okay.
code?
One for 14 spaces.
Okay.
Where's your main door? Right there?
Right there where the handicap spot is.
Okay. I use handicaps and have to walk a half a mile to get in the main door.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions of the staff or the applicant? Okay, gentlemen, if we come up with other discussion, we'll may have to call you back, but if not,
Okay.
have a seat and relax.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any discussion on the site plan that was given to us and shown tonight?
I think it's pretty straightforward myself.
Okay. Then if there's no discussion or further, entertain a motion for approval of the site plan for case 22-2022-0013 ZC.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
To
Mark
that
made a
effect.
motion to approve?
Second.
Or- Second
John.
by John?
John and John.
John and John, okay, I can't hear today. Sorry about that. My ears are still getting yelled at today. Okay, John and John? Okay, any other discussion on the motion for approval? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay, John Hott,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John Everett,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Application has been approved. You're welcome. Next, on this, we have on case architecture reviews for 22-022-0014 ZC for a new classic car wash facility at 1936 Menor Avenue. Applicant on this is here. And state your name and your address, please.
Kurt Hansen, 1936 Menor Avenue, Painesville Township. We are here tonight to present our design for the Classic Clean Auto Wash to go obviously at the location at 1936 Menor Avenue. Obviously, the Classic Clean Auto Wash is part of the Classic Auto Group out of Menor. We currently have the Classic Clean Auto Wash in Menor that's already been built and open for a few years. Also, we have a new one on Green Road in Madison that's currently under construction. And now we are working on this proposed project as well. The car wash, it's a 140-foot long car wash tunnel. And then I'm going to turn this over to John Urbanic, our civil engineer, to talk about the site, and then I'll talk about landscaping and building design after that.
Good evening, John Urbanic, Rockaway Civil. I'll give a quick summary of what's proposed from a vehicle approaching the site and using the site. One proposed two-way access point is intended on the western, we'll call it the western portion of the frontage. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, 98% of the cars entering the site know they're wanting to come for a car wash, so when they come in, they immediately turn right, and they're queued right down that serpentine of pavement drive, rolled curbs on the edge to get them to the pay station. The pay station is that rectangular area, correct, right there, just northeast of the building. You can't see there are very light approximate vehicle stacking. There's 40-plus cars stacking up to the pay station and probably another 6 or 8 or 9, depending upon how efficient people move together between the pay station and the front entrance to the tunnel. So that's 98% of our customers. They're going into the car wash, driving onto a conveyor. Conveyor brings them through the wash. Different components of the wash their car to the level of which they paid for. When they exit the wash at the backside, they're directed to the left. There'll be a couple employees there with hand towels, drying off mirrors, wiping down glass. And then the stop bar you see, when they exit and veer to the left, the stop bar there, they make a decision. Do I turn left and go back out to Route 20 to exit the site that way? Or do I continue off to the right and exit behind the common driveway that was placed when I believe it's Safe Store, went in next door, and that driveway was put in as a possible combined use to get traffic over onto the side street. So when they leave the car wash, like I say, that's 98% of the people who will come to the site will take that path. The other 2% are employees who will show up and park in one of the parking spaces. There's 3 to 5 employees at a time at the facility. And then the rectangular light, the lighter rectangular area on the western side of the parking lot, those are covered vacuum stalls. So some people will show up just to get use the vacuum. So they'll pull in the driveway, utilize the vacuum, and then again have the opportunity to exit either behind the Safe Store or straight out onto Route 20 through the two-way drive. The only other person using the site is the trash service, which comes a couple times a week, and the trash service is straight in the back there. You'll see it pulling straight down the line behind the building, correct? And when they back up, they have the ability to turn into the exit lane because the trash truck will always come before business starts. Hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They have the ability to back into that driveway and go back out to Route 20. More than likely, they're also going to back up and then pull forward left and go behind Safe Store out to the road. So the goal of this short presentation was to let you know, based on that colored rendering, what was the intent for everyone, coming to and from the site. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to try to answer them.
Okay, we'll go with the building presentation now.
We want to get you to go to the next page to talk about the landscape. That up there is our proposed landscape plan. So we provide the required landscaping along Mentor Avenue, also through the interior of the car wash parking lot. We have the plantings of trees and landscaping as well. Around obviously most of the lot we have left as green space, so obviously we'll keep the grass through there. Along to the rear of the property, basically to the north, and also down the far toward northeast property line as well. We have the proper screening required up against all the residential properties. Let's go to the next, going down. And here's a quick on of our site lighting. We have you do LED site lighting throughout the entire property. All the perimeter light fixtures are all shielded, so it will basically prevent any light from going onto the adjacent properties.
While we're here, Kurt, I just want to verify there will be no lighting to the north of the tower.
That is correct, yeah. And actually, at this point, the tower is non-illuminated at all, so there'll be no lights on the tower.
Oh.
Okay, keep going. All right, based on conversations as well as with the staff and the township, we have changed from the original elevations that were provided. I know we also had another rendition, and this was sort of the final rendition that we have. As you can see on the renderings, that we're basically using stone as a kind of the base material around the whole perimeter of the building, and then kind of extending up to emphasize the tower feature. Also, all the columns on the pay station and the vacuum canopy will also have the stone going up as well. We have on the main building itself, we basically are using aluminum composite metal panels. We're basically kind of using 2 colors. One, as you see in there, kind of the terracotta color, which basically kind of blends in with the adjacent basically building there for the Safe Store. And then also, we have a lighter kind of warm gray color that's basically used on the rest of the building. And as you go into the kind of the 2D elevation, you can kind of see a little bit better. Actually, kind of go, if you want to go to the next, as you can see there, the vacuum canopy that will have the stone going up onto the columns as well. And you can see it on the pay station, and on the canopy going in and out to the tunnel as well, that those columns will have the stone. can do that. Also too, is we have on there, we kind of have two sections of kind of a roof over it as you go into the car wash tunnel and then go out. Those kind of have a charcoal gray color. We're proposing on those curved canopies along with the steel, basically the column supporting those. What the purpose is of the two canopies is the canopy going in helps to protect the first vehicle from going into the car wash. There's always a tenant standing out there to help the cars get lined up onto the conveyor so that they'll be protected from the sun all day long. And then also too, as John mentioned, as they come out of the tunnel, there are basically will be people there to help finish drying the cars off. So that they'll have an area too to stand out from the sun, so they won't be standing outside all day long. And then that is overall our the proposed design of the car wash.
Will this be designed, intended to be used by your car dealers as well as public?
This is basically merely for public use only. Along with the same one in the Menor and then the one that's in Madison, in this case is all for a customer base only.
This follows the same standard as your other look, the other look of the other one?
The Menor car wash and then the Madison one those are more or less to be similar of having the white metal panels with the red accents. This one obviously coming into kind of more the warmer color scheme of, and then using the kind of the stone and panels to blend in with the surrounding area.
You were talking about a safe one,
Well, I guess safe storage.
safe doors?
Storage next to, right next to the storage facility.
In other words, people go out, get out of their car and go down through there.
In terms of what's that?
Well, I've gone to car washes that when I have to get out of the car and I walk down through kind of an alleyway and pick up my car at the other end.
Yeah, they stay in the car. They do not get out of their car at all.
Okay. And the waste receptacle, I just had a quick look of it. That's off that end over to the left of the building when you're facing it.
That's correct.
And it actually faces back out to Route 20.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be a fully screened dumpster enclosure. It'll have basically materials that'll match the building, and it'll have gates on the front that'll be closed at all times.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm looking at it right.
Yep.
It would seem that you have plenty of drive, if on a busy day, okay, you have plenty of drive.
That's
to fill.
correct, yes, from obviously from the point you come.
Because you're dealing with a busy 20.
That's correct. Yeah, basically by the time you come in, you curve, and you kind of have the whole single lane going, and then as it turns into the 3 lanes there, so we have plenty of stacking on there, so it's to alleviate any potential issues of ever getting onto Menor Avenue.
Yeah, because that Speedy Car Wash or something down there near Isley,
Zappies.
Zappies, yeah. They're inevitably getting out into Route 20 all the time.
Yes, and unfortunately, the Zappies, they have very limited amount of stacking at that location.
Yeah, well, the lot there is quite small. in
Yes.
depth compared to some others. I mean, you've got some good depth here to work with.
Correct.
They didn't.
No.
Excuse me, John, how many vehicles did you say you can stack?
There's stacking for 40 or 41 from the 3 pay stations
Pay
back
station
to,
back, and
back
then-
to the,
then
not
along-
including into the two-way drive, but just short of the two-way drive.
Just short
And
of
then
the-
there's additionally maybe 6 or 8 from the pay stations, because they'll queue sort of up into a single file line. One of the biggest Achilles heels for a Zappies type auto wash is one pay station. You get one hiccup, your whole line stops.
Yeah.
Part of the reason for having 3 pay stations is to provide that flexibility on letting cars
Keep it
through.
moving.
Someone has a problem with a payment, someone comes out, the people behind that person might get frustrated, but the other 2 lines keep moving. So the back end of that, the tail end of that centipede keeps moving forward, where
Yeah.
it's really unique in the sense that we've got so much stacking here, significantly more than most other ones we do, and there's 3 pay stations.
So you said 40, 41 vehicles, you're talking about the 3 lanes for the pay station, and then the single lane going
Correct.
into it,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, so back
The
there.
3 lanes heading back towards Menor Avenue, and the single lane heading east and towards the back of
Yeah.
the site. That adds
So you
up
have
to
a
about
single lane
4.
on, then you get into you get a single lane all the way looped around, then you get into the 3 pay stations.
Correct, to get into your, correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Out of curiosity, you're showing off to the right of it, to the west, a taller area than where the pay stations and stuff are? Is that office space or what?
So actually, no, you want to go back to the elevations. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, so actually where the tower features at, the first, that's obviously, it's a one-story structure, made it look like a two-story area. Basically, in the first floor, there's a unisex restroom for employees of their use. There's also their break room there, and then behind there is kind of the main IT, kind of the guts of the car
In other words,
wash.
that's nothing for the public?
No, correct.
Okay.
And then as you see that there is a little small office there right adjacent to the pay station, so that's basically where, like I said, this is a fully attended car wash, so there basically will be people, employees in there all the time that'll watch people coming up to the pay stations. If there's an issue, they'll be able to walk, there's doors on both sides that they can walk out and be able to help the customers as they go through.
Does it look like it could be a two-story section?
The Menor location is a true two-story, that has a second floor up there, but this one is this is one story only.
Yeah.
So you will not have any retail inside, or you will not have the public generally, other than your employees?
That is correct.
What is the second floor in Menor used for?
The one up there, that one actually has the break room on that one's up there on the second floor, so. But as we have now changed it, because that was a prefab building, these are not prefab buildings at all, these are all custom designed, so, and as we've gotten into doing the Madison one, which is obviously a custom design one, we kind of have gotten into more streamlining and making things more economical and keeping the uses all down on the first floor.
It doesn't have anything to do with us, but what type of wastewater disposal do you use or on those kind of washes?
These are basically, this all goes obviously through just into the oil water separator and then obviously into the sanitary system. These do not have any type of recirculation of using the water at all.
So it all goes back into regular sewers?
That's correct.
There's no danger on that or anything?
No.
You're showing trees and brush and stuff, bushes and stuff. What size you're putting in, because those are almost full-grown, what you're picturing.
Yeah, those are obviously for the rendering stuff. I know for sure at the back, the arborvitae going along the back, I think those are like 5 to 6 feet back there. And then I think the stuff along the front are more of it. I just got the sizes listed up on there. I think they're probably more like an 1.5 inch, 2 inch, somewhere around caliper trees.
So they're not small trees, per se.
No, they definitely won't be small, little tiny, but they also won't be full mature
Gigantic.
trees only.
Okay.
Stop right there. Your two trees that are near the entrance exit, are they gonna be small shrubs? Are they gonna be the small tree you're talking about?
I think those are currently indicated to be small trees.
Okay, you shouldn't have anything above 36 inches.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely change those too.
Please change those
Switch those
to a
around.
small shrub so you can have sight distance.
Yeah.
So you can see, getting out, because you're gonna be getting out of there, you're gonna have to go through, a possibility go through a car and then seeing people, on Menor Avenue. So I'd appreciate if you could change the rendering on the landscaping to small shrubs at that area.
We can definitely do that.
That would make it easier. In fact, like a small shrub you see along Menor Avenue, save the bigger trees for the back of the lot and even, the back rear for the residential places.
And generally, with your design, your bushes shouldn't be over 3 feet high. You're supposed to be able to sit in the car, be able to look across the top of it.
We can definitely make sure that's changed.
That's a safety issue right there.
Yeah.
You have the left turn lane, which is great, helps you out, but that's gotta be free too.
You said that I think I read in there where it said the vacuum does not make any outside noise.
Correct, the main central vacuum is actually inside the building, on basically the main car wash building. There's room for it, so the sound of that, you will not be able to hear that outside at all. Obviously, the main controller is all inside, and there's pipes that go down under the ground that will go up to the vacuum canopy. And then also too, that the vacuum is already run basically from the 8 to 8, so they will not, so once they close at 8 o'clock, everything gets shut off, so and the whole property is closed up, so no people will not be able to go in after hours to use vacuums or anything.
So it's follow up on John's question. So the vacuums after 8 o'clock, you shut down. The vacuums will not be able, even if somebody goes in there,
Yeah.
tries to operate them, they will not
No,
be able to
they'll not be
operate
able
them.
to operate them all. Everything will come 8 o'clock at night, everything, the whole place will get shut down, everything gets turned off.
That's important.
Yeah, because like he says, I've seen people use them after hours.
Yeah, yeah, just any of the classic locations that they're all shut off at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions of the applicant before we have staff report?
How many vacuum stations are there?
I believe there's 10 on this one.
And I'm sure that you've already studied this most of the time when you send that many cars in through the first good day we have after the salt's on the road. And that's, not everybody or a lot of people don't vacuum, so.
I think majority of people end up going out through, but there obviously, there's our ones that definitely stay in vacuum, so. And obviously with this, with being having a fully covered vacuum station, also more people are likely to stay and use the vacuums because they're not out there in the elements at all.
So it's not gonna cause a backup there in traffic either.
No.
so.
Okay. Any other questions of the applicant? Okay, just, hold on, we may need you again. Staff report, please.
Mr. Chairman, the applicant has worked pretty extensively with staff, and elected officials through this entire process. You can see in the initial renderings that they provided, actually the initial renderings that they provided with that peak roof on the tower was a revision from their original submittal. And as they went through this process, we worked closely together, and ultimately they presented this final revision to us, which we are very supportive of, and they meet all of our requirements, our zoning
Okay.
requirements.
And our needs. Well, then, thank you very much for helping us out with your proposal. If you could just make sure that, we'll make sure that we have that rendering of landscaping revised, please.
Yes.
And then send that to Harley so we know exactly what that is. You know, we'll make it a contingent upon that.
Okay.
All right, please. Thank you. Thanks for working with us. I think since you worked with us so far, you can work with us one more time. I'd appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
will say, yeah, I like the fascia, what's on the front of the building, and that it fits in better than the other one that you had shown with white. It just wouldn't go in there.
That would have been changed before he got
Yeah.
there.
I think he saw that, so that's why we got the change on that.
Well, I think Harley,
Harley might have told you.
Harley did a good job.
Conversations and work through it together.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for staff or the applicant? Okay, hearing none, any more discussion on the proposed site plan for Classic Car Wash? Hearing none, entertain a motion for approval. Mark made the motion for approval, I heard that.
Second.
John Everett approved it. Discussion on the motion for approval? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay, John Hott,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
John Everett,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
It should be a good addition to that part of town and that section, and I think the neighbors will be very happy with what they see. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. We, excuse me.
Awesome. Very welcome.
Thank you, sir. Okay. New business, there's none. We have one old business, and it's old business. If you look at the case, it's 20, not 21 or 22, it's 20. ZC07. We've been on this for a while, but it's been a complete, going through a couple iterations, and so we're at the rewrite of the sign section. I think 2 months ago, Harley gave us some information from Concord Township. I actually glanced at it. I read it, but not really that detailed, but it looked pretty good. Made it easier a little bit, Harley, on determining the size of the signs that were approvable it makes for life a little bit easier for you and for the applicant to make know A, are they gonna meet code, or B, if they're not meeting code, you can enforce it a lot easier. It's a step in the right direction for that section, instead of the formulas. I mean,
Yeah, that
if-
one is one.
and you know, that's just something that, I think was needed. And, so, anybody else have any comments on what she gave us about a couple months ago? I know we tabled it last month, we had a long meeting last meeting, and, anybody here in the board ready to discuss it, or you wanna table it for the next meeting? I'm just throwing it out there, and then, you know, what I'd like to do, Harley, if we could, for the next meeting, but anyway, for the next meeting, maybe we could put together, one whole section of that, you know, rewrite, and then add what you think is, needed for from the Concord proposal, and put it in for this one, for our rewrite. If any of the commissioner members are okay with that, we'll table this till the next meeting. Hearing no objections, that's what we'll do, okay? We have no closed public hearings. There's no items being held for public hearing. I'm at zoning inspector's report.
It's been a busy beginning of the year, and we actually have maybe one more set of plans review coming up. We'll see. We've got a couple people interested in building 2 more car washes on Mineral Avenue.
Oh, that's interesting.
And one's getting ready to do the lot split currently, so we'll see, that should be on the agenda in the future.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have much to add, Mr. Chairman.
That's quite all right, Harley. We all have long days. Any other business come before the commission? I have one real easy one. Daryl, next meeting is on June 13th, 2022. Since I will not physically be able to be here and I can't be cloned, that's good for the world, I won't be here. So you will be taking that over, which I'm not even concerned about it, just let you know that I won't be here. So, any other business before the commission? Hearing none, entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, motion made, second, and approved by affirmation. Meeting adjourned at 7:09. Very good, folks. Called that last out real quick for nothing.